Sometimes I get so excited I don't know where to start on this song. This is my third take on this record. At number 8 on my fantasy playlist, Boys Don't Cry. I Want to Be a Cowboy. Let me read you a lyric for this record. This is just looking like a hero, six gun at my side, chewing my tobacco, out on the horizon. I see a puff of smoke, Indians on the warpath, and there's an Indian voice, white man speak 'em with fork, tongue, or not. I want to be a cowboy, and you can be my cowgirl. Boys Don't Cry on my fantasy playlist at number 8. This is a British group, by the way. This is an all-American record. It's classic American spaghetti western done by a British act. Boys Don't Cry, the brainchild of a guy named Nick Richards. He formed this band back in 1983 as he had just bought a recording studio in London, or purchased a recording studio in London. And the group went through a couple of incarnations, settled down to a 4 or 5 man group by about 1985, and they were discovered. This is one of the fascinating parts about this group. They were discovered by a guy named Paul Oakenfold. Paul Oakenfold later became a famous trance DJ. He had this great record out that I put on a fantasy playlist back in the summer of 2002 called Starry Eye Surprise. That was a great dance song by Paul Oakenfold. But in 1986, he was a talent scout for Profile Records, got him a recording contract that helped them break into the American market. Boys Don't Cry. Uh, from another source, I was able to piece together that they recorded this song in about a 12-hour session. They meant for this song to be silly. As a matter of fact, I just read this YouTube comment a few minutes ago that a fellow said that this is a stupid song, but stupid in a good way. And that was their intent, just to do a real silly record. I Want to Be a Cowboy. And it worked. It went to number 12 here in the States. Boys Don't Cry, the title of this group came from a 10cc record, I'm Not in Love. It came out back in the summer of 75. You might remember there's this ethereal, almost spooky interlude of choruses and chants in the middle of I'm Not in Love. And there's this girl that sings, Be quiet, big boys don't cry, big boys don't cry. And that's how they got their name, Boys Don't Cry. And I gotta give it. Let's see. I gave a shout out to Paul Oakenfold, great trance producer. I love that record he did, Story Eye Surprise, in 2002. Fancy him discovering Boys Don't Cry. I didn't know. Gotta give another shout out to a woman, the sexy cowgirl on this record. Ooh, what a sexy British accent! It just kills me. Heidi Leah, the drummer's girlfriend, sang on this record. She was hanging out in the recording studio. When they used her, they thought she was perfect for this record. And here's her part of the song right here. Let me bring that up for you real quick. Riding on the chuck wagon, following my man. His name is Ted. Can you believe that? Camping on the prairie, plays havoc with my hair, or havoc with my hair. Makes me feel quite dirty, though we all do sometimes. Ooh, my goodness. Very delightful record. A lot of people didn't like it, though, particularly men. I thought men would get into this record because it's kind of a macho sounding record. I mean, Nick Richards just laying down the smack. But a lot of men did not like this record, maybe because of the dance beat or something. Anyway, I believe that's all I got to say about this record. I thought there was a couple of other things on here I wanted to mention to you about I Want to Be a Cowboy. Later on, and here's another thing, in 2009, Nick Richards teamed up with his bandmate, one of his fellow bandmates, Brian Chatton. He was a keyboard player, and they worked on an album in Los Angeles in the late 2000s, and they put out a single called Don't Call Me a Country Singer. Gotta listen to that one. This typically American, British doing American music. Boys Don't Cry. Yes, number 8. I Want to Be a Cowboy. That famous line. Remember the famous line at the end of the record? My name is Ted, and one day I'll be dead.